to get it warmer, 45 to 55 degrees. I even see some people keep it at 60 room temperature because it's a tropical plant. It cells begin to deteriorate from moisture and cold temperature. So it turns black. Get rid of that part. That's really is going to have an altered flavor. But if you stick in that black like you were talking about, then it had a moderately green flavor or color. Didn't turn black, froze right away, and then we sealed it. Didn't dry out either. So that's just that's kind of a strategy. I would like people, in fact, to do things more like that instead of buying fresher herbs in my favorite months of December, January, and February, when it's impossible to happen from this climate. Impossible. And even plants like lemon verbena, that's a tropical plant that turns black if you put it in the refrigerator. It turns black because they're not accustomed to the cold temperatures. Basil likes it warmer. Best of all, get it and then plan to use it. That's one of the things that start getting some joy in your life.
What's that plant right there, the second one, yeah.
So this is probably a thyme. It looks like could be oregano. It's an oregano style, and so they do this. It has a variegated leaf, and oregano, that's sage, golden sage. It's kind of like that. Some of these plants they do that. They're good to use for culinary use, but this is more just for appearance, probably more in landscaping. But I would not be opposed to using it for you especially. It looks good.
Yeah, I grow some similar to that, the club.
If you're going to grow herbs at home, which ones will come back every year in your yard?
That's the question. So chives, oregano, thyme, mint, sage, mint's come back in force.
Yeah.
And then did I say sage? So those are some good ones for Idaho.
Garlic will keep growing every year too.
Yeah, we can. You bet. And
So what if you don't dig up the garlic bulb?
yeah, you're going to get a multiplication of it and more plants, and it's just going to grow.
what does it look like
But it
on
is.
the seed?
You've got to get that bulb out of there. You got to get it out of there.
Elephant- It's like elephant garlic then. It's getting big.
Or just that plant strategy is it'll grow
Year after year.
round and round. And even the chives, we start with a bunch like that in the seeding, and then right now we harvest from clumps that are that big. As they're in the rows, but they just we'll have chive beds in place for 4 to 5 years based on how productive they are, and which is really unusual because a lot of the onion industry in the state has a hard time doing that successfully because they have a lot of diseases that are on. But I like our system, our little organic system really has made it flourish. But I love chives that come back and then they're early emerging. So that's another great thing about it. And then you can't overdo it, in my mind.
Jason, I just kind of have a question I can never figure out marinating. Like it seems like if I do a dish or whatever and I put it in, it's like the flavor's not strong enough. I don't know if I didn't leave it long enough, and then other times it's left long and then it seems like it's too potent, too strong sometimes. Is it depend on the weight of the meat and how long you do marinades? Like is there a trick to that?
Well, is it the same marinade or is it a different marinade that you're doing? You're getting different results.
Usually they're different marinades.
Yeah.
Just different.
Yeah.
Chicken tends to be less.
Yeah, chicken tends to be less. It really depends on the amount of acid, like I said, that you put in your vinegar or your lime juice, or possibly even soy sauce if you ever did a teriyaki. Those things will attach to the protein a lot faster, and you can always tell. Well, it's kind of an educational thing. So when you got your meat in there, how squishy it is, and then after you marinate it a while, it's going to get a little bit firmer and a little bit firmer. Once it starts to get firm, done. I wouldn't marinate for more than 2 to 4 hours.
Okay.
That's plenty of time. But that's really cool that you're doing different marinades. That's really great.
And then we had one more question, didn't we? Or we didn't have a question?
I don't know, that about marinades or, and anything, you just, if you change the herb or some of your principal ingredients, you still have a base understanding of the marinade, then you change its personality. And just by, you know, which is a great trick. It's a great, you know, and it helps you wander. You were talking about trying different things.
Yeah, I mean, you're just changing it to a different elevating quality.
So it is 8:20. If anyone wants to stick around, we are happy to keep asking questions. We're gonna take a break with these cooking demos over the summer, but we'll restart in September. And what was your favorite sample out of all of them? Pear. Pear.
Yeah, pear is actually awesome.
Corn on the cob. Pear, banana, corn, worm.
The pork, Jason.
And it's always a pleasure to listen to Tim and his passion for food. I hope that we each put a little bit more effort into our food, because I think of our busy lives, and that mealtime is the one thing that kind of gets squeezed out, and you think, how can that be? So happy summer, happy grilling, happy herbs.
And I hear we won't be having any classes during the summer, but we're looking at planning for early next fall, starting these classes again.
We would like to offer you